everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to another Positivity Voice Live. Today we have another very special guest for you, but we're going to wait a couple minutes for everybody to join on and then we'll begin the interview. I hope everybody is having a great day and a great Friday. Mine has been pretty chill, so it's good. Hello. Thank you for joining. We're going to get started in a couple of minutes. Hello. Hi.
Hi, Vani.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. How's your Friday been? A lot of work or pretty chill?
Pretty chill and lots of heat on our side, right? Where
Oh
we
yeah.
still.
Yeah, a lot of heat. Everywhere I feel like around Indianapolis is a lot of just a lot of sun, and which I love the sun, but it gets really hot sometimes.
Yes, I don't know how people in Texas and Florida does this like.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's crazy. It's something that we're never used to because sometimes you could just never predict the weather and it turns out to be crazy. But yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining. I'm just going to wait a couple minutes for a few more people to join on before we begin. But before we start, I just want to talk a little bit about Positivity Voice and why I created it. So I started the Positivity Voice live series in 2020. It was kind of like where everybody felt so isolated during the pandemic. It was just really hard to feel connected to those around us. So I created this to be able to still chat, provide some inspiration and some positivity, add some sunshine, quite literally, to people's lives during those tough times. And I've just kind of continued that with so many incredible role models like you. And so I'm really excited to talk with you today to learn a little bit more about your passions and platforms. And we're here to kind of talk about diversity, especially within pageantry and within our world. So I think we have a couple people joining on now. So hello, thank you so much for joining. I wanted to introduce our special guest today. We have Miss Sejal Patel. She is in the profession of pharmaceutical and clinical area. She is the mother of two amazing daughters and loves singing, cooking, and dancing and socializing. She also loves being able to read and create inspirational content. Her life mantra is all about positivity and spirituality. So I'm really excited that you're on the Positivity Voice today. It's kind of fitting for sure. So you want to go ahead and say hi and maybe add in some things that I might have missed.
No, thank you, Vani, for an amazing, wonderful introduction. Hi, everyone. Yes, like Vani said, I am into positivity, and it's a very good, it's a very needed item, especially post-COVID. And I also run other media platforms just to the same reference, just so people who are not able to talk about their problems are just fighting their battles silently. We just want them to know that we are here for them. Even sometimes them listening to us, it makes a difference in their life. They may not say that, but that's the fact, right? So I'm very, very honored to be here with Vani on her platform. For your age, what you're doing out there is really incredible, and I'm actually honored that I'm being interviewed by you today.
Oh no, I'm honored that you're on, being able to share your story and passions. I think that's something that, we talked about how it's so needed in society to just have, conversations and talk about things that are important and maybe even opportunities for people. So I see that you have your sash. So I kind of wanted to talk a little bit, to begin about your involvement in pageantry and kind of just about the organization that you're with.
Sure. So this particular organization that I'm with is called it's My Dream TV, and the pageantry platform is Miss Bharat Indiana, Miss Bharat USA, and for our state is Miss Bharat USA Indiana. And my involvement with this team started like a couple years ago, but last year was a really big year for me, which is where I went into action. I joined the team where as a contestant, got up on the stage, competed in Florida because in Indiana we don't have this pageantry. So I started out my journey through Florida State. I made it to finals and went to nationals, which is where it was a big happening event, and I absolutely had so much fun. Fashion is fun to me in general, but when I went there, just meeting other contestants who came from different backgrounds, different cultures, most of them in my category, they were moms, right? And they left their little toddlers behind and came for that bigger national event. It was so much fun and inspirational. Everybody was inspiring to me personally when I talked to them. So that's how I started. And I was inspired to bring this platform here in Indiana. So here we are.
Yeah, no, that's awesome to hear about it. I think Harnaz also came, right? Was it this year
Yeah.
or past year? That's
Nationals, I was able to
oh,
connect with her in
that's
person, so it was wonderful.
that's amazing. Do you remember what you guys chatted about?
No, I did not have any chat with her. She had way too much on her plate, and
Yeah.
just to get a picture, from her with her on the sharing the same stage was an honor, and that's with the time constraint, that's the best we could.
Yeah, no, that's awesome to get that opportunity. What did you compete in while you were there in Florida?
In Florida, it was just it's just any pageantry. I competed in Miss Bharat USA Florida elite category, which is where with my age, that's where I fall into.
Mhm.
And so we had to perform a talent show, we had to do heritage round, and we had to do cosmopolitan question and answer, just standard rounds that happens in
Mhm.
any pageantry.
Mhm. Mhm.
Only difference is in this one, we have a heritage round, which is where we can showcase our culture, because even within India, as we all are aware of, North is very different than South, East
Yeah.
is very different than West.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I competed in.
Mhm. Did you do like a ethnic wear? Was that kind of like the category? That's so fun.
Yes,
Very
yes.
nice. Very nice.
That was one of my favorite round.
Yeah, yeah, that's amazing to hear. And did you have like any special memories that you remember from that week that you were there?
Yes, so this will be from Atlanta, the Nationals. We were in the backstage, and you being in pageantry as well, you know how chaotic backstage can get,
Yeah.
even though we all are trying to do the same thing, but it's about timing, right? We all are under stress. I mean, it's a lot of things that go behind the scenes. And I was rushing through from the dressing area to the stage just to queue up because now it was our turn to get up on the stage. And my red gown was a little longer, so I was holding it up, but still it was still flaring on the floor, sweeping on the floor. And a little girl, she was, I don't know her age, maybe like 5 or 8 years old. And she was like, "Hey, excuse me." And I just turned around while I was rushing. And I was like, ouch. Like while I was turning around, I just felt a little hick. And I was like, oh, ouch. What happened? Are you okay, sweetie? And she goes, yeah, I'm okay. Are you okay? And I was like, yes. And she goes, your gown. Like, just basically she was trying to help me in my stressful moment. And she made me smile. And I was like, are you participating too? Are you going up on the stage? She goes, no, my sister is. I'm just here for the support. And that's what queens do.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We uplift each other in our rough times, and we make sure that we take care of each other to our best ability, no matter how hard life gets.
That's amazing. That's a great message. Because I think a lot of people, when they think pageantry, they think of competition and it's all just about competing, but it's about so much more. I mean, the sisterhood you get from the families, the supporters, everybody involved, even contestants. That's what makes that week so worthwhile and so memorable. With the fact that, that's the first thing you remember, just goes to show that that was really, really important, especially, within pageantry. And that's definitely something that I always look forward to, whether I'm competing or going to cheer on my friends, is just getting to meet people, getting to connect, and just understanding where they're from and sharing about me. It's a great way to make friends in that sisterhood for sure.
Yes.
So can you tell me a little bit about, has it been a year since you were holding the title? A
Yes.
year. So what have you been able to accomplish in a year? Because sometimes it feels like a year is super short. Sometimes it feels like really long. How has your experience been?
Super short. I can't believe the time is here that my launch date is already decided. It's announced. It's 29th October, 2023. Um, and my journey from last year to this year was, even before I competed, it was in somewhere in my thoughts that I wanted to bring this pageantry in Indiana, but I wanted to experience it firsthand. And once I got the title and crown, I was more assured that I definitely want to bring this to Indiana. So just to bring a platform like this in our state, there's a lot of things that went behind the scenes, which is what I have been working on slowly and steadily. It's mixed feelings. I'm excited, at the same time I'm nervous, but it feels like very, very short.
Yeah.
Because trying to bring all those pieces together, make sure that this event goes successfully smooth, as well as inspiring for the contestants, making sure that we're ready, and it's a fun day.
Yeah, that's awesome. Is there any like projects that you have done throughout this year that the platform gave you that opportunity to do that?
No, the platform did guide me to do the projects that I should do, but I haven't started on it. To be honest, just bringing this platform in Indiana is a project in itself, and I want to give my 100% to that before I start doing anything else.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. I think that a lot of times, with the title, it's definitely a big responsibility, and there's a lot going on throughout your year. Being in pageantry, I can kind of understand the amount of stress sometimes, the amount of the work that it takes to, whether it's putting on a great show, but also being a title holder and representing. It definitely is such an incredible task. An undertaking for sure, but such a great opportunity and experience to get. I remember that like when I started pageantry, I think it was 2016, or I was like seven, no, not seven. I was around like 9 years old, and I was so shy. Like I would not talk to people. It was something that was just so difficult. I would hide behind my mom's back. And that was something that it took a lot to be able to overcome it. But over the past 7 years, one of the biggest things is being able to go on stage, get the opportunity to, hold a title and have appearances. And that has made me into the confident person that I am today. And so just to see the growth that comes from a year and the work and the opportunities that you put into it, that's what's something that's truly special.
Right. And at the end, of course, is ours, but
Yeah.
it's amazing how many tools and resources we get access to once you enter this world.
Yeah, for sure.
And thank you for sharing your journey. You
Yeah.
said you were 6 or 7 years old?
I was around 9 years old when I started. We got a letter in the mail, and then from there, it just kind of just started from there.
Okay. And tell me what inspired you to participate, to like your first application. What inspired you that, you know what, I want to do in pageantry?
Yeah, I loved to dress up when I was younger. That was like, I just would wear like my mom's saris sometimes. It was funny. I would just do like little shows, like kind of like pretend I'm part of a TV show and, wear her saris. And I just like loved to dress up and all of that. And my parents could definitely see that, I guess, in me. And so when we got this letter in the mail about an organization that's hosting a pageant here in Indiana, we were like, okay, it's only in downtown, we can see how it is and, make friends and all of that, see what it's like. And so I did my first pageant that year and I really liked it. It was 2016. I really liked it. All of the people that I've met, the opportunities, like I said, I keep saying opportunities, but it's so true, that it gained from it made me want to come back and continue being involved in pageantry in any capacity that I can. And that's just, I guess, how I started my journey and what inspired me.
Yeah.
So a lot of the things, that we were talking about was about being open to new ideas and overcoming, challenges. Like you wanted to be able to bring this organization to Indianapolis and be able to bring more cultural sensitivity and background to it. So what do you think is kind of like the role of diversity within pageantry, but also just within our world?
So, with, within pageantry is where I will start. Diversity is, to me, is the backbone, it's a spine of pageantry world. Whether it was pre-millennial years or post-millennial years, wherever we talk about back in pre-millennial years, it's a stage where you see contestants from all over the world, from different background, different race, coming from their unique walk of life, coming together on that, sharing that same stage for the, their personal message at that magnitude. It's diversity in its best. And if we talk about post-millennial years, where we talk about, like, I feel like pageantry has always been a step ahead than the world when it comes to diversity. It's always been inclusive, and even post-millennial years now, when we talk about pageantry, they are more inclusive than before. It's not just about that much of shape and size and women only. Like for Miss Bharat Indiana, if I speak about that particular pageantry, we are accepting participants from any age, any gender. We are open to anybody's uniqueness. So to me, diversity has always been and always will be the backbone of pageantry, and it will always stay a step ahead than the rest of the world.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so true. I feel like a lot of times it's easy to, like I said, think about pageantry and think about the stereotypical a pageant girl, like what they think, and then they, somebody who's completely like they don't know about pageantry, they go to a pageant and they're like, wait, there's people of all different backgrounds, walks of life. Maybe they do sports, maybe they're involved in this activity or that. Like, there's so much differences that we see, but those are the differences that help us unite, help us come together. And I think that's something that, like we said about sisterhood and just the people around us, that's what brings it all together. That's what creates such a welcoming environment. And that's definitely really important.
Yes, and I feel like pageantry is a platform where you don't have to change yourself to fit in. The stage itself accepts you the way you are and empowers you so you can be your authentic self and show the world.
Yeah, that's really true. I love how you said that the stage is accepting. I've never thought of it that way. So that's definitely something that's really special. Do
So,
you,
Vani, tell me about yourself. You said you used to be a very shy little girl, because right now I do see a lot of in my society, in my circle, friends and family, there are people who are interested for their kids to join pageantry, but kids themselves are shy, right? And you did touch that point earlier that you yourself were a shy girl. And now today I'm seeing you as on media live talking to me about this topic. So describe yourself in few words, Vani before and Vani today.
Yeah, I would say that I think a lot of the growth has just come from like pushing ahead and realizing, what I want in myself. One of the stories that comes to mind is when I was in second grade, before I started pageantry, I was like I said, I was so shy. My teacher told me that she would throw a party for me if I talked in class. I used to be so shy. Yeah, I would not talk to people, and I was just like hiding, like hidden in the back scenes and things like that. And so for me, it was definitely a big challenge and a big step. And I remember like at first when I went and walked, on the stage for the first time, I loved performing. I've like been dancing ever since I was 3. And that was kind of whenever I danced is when I kind of felt my most confident self. So when I walked on stage, like in pageants, I tried to channel that same feeling. I tried to feel like, kind of like when you're walking, it's kind of like a dance in a way. I try to think about it in that way. And then just realize that, I want to be able to present the best version of myself. And if I'm confident in that, then others can see it too. And so I worked on it a lot. There was definitely embarrassing moments. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should do this, do that. Like I was sometimes really embarrassed to put a hand on my hip as a pose. Like that was something that I was just like, No, I don't know. All of those things, they have definitely challenged me to think outside the box, even as small as it was. And just to know that even though they are like technically in pageants there are judges, they're not really, judging you based on a stereotype. It's about how you present yourself and, like I said, how you demonstrate being confident in yourself. And if they see that, then that's great. That's what makes the you shine on stage. And that's kind of how I gained my confidence, just by knowing that, yeah, others' opinions, it's great, but also you have to have that self-esteem and confidence in yourself to know that yes, you are unique and you are special, and so is everybody else.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Very true. Very well
Yeah.
said.
I know that was a lot kind of combined, a lot of different ideas and messages, but that's the
No, I mean, it's a fact,
yeah.
especially with the teenage years, right?
Mm-hmm.
For me, if I go back in my teenage years, I do remember what it was like, and I can only imagine
Mm-hmm.
for kids growing up here, especially Asian kids, right? Indian kids, where it's tug of war between two
Right.
cultures. So being confident in your skin is very, very important for every teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't and it should not be based on your looks or based on your status or your grades or your extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
It comes from within. You should feel
Mm-hmm.
confident. And I'm glad that you hopped onto pageantry platform
Yeah.
at the right time of your life, so you're able to enjoy your teenage years
Mm-hmm.
rather than just being
Afraid.
self-doubting
Yeah.
and afraid. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yes.
So for me, when so I was an adult when I entered this world, right? Well, I did get questions like, "Why are you joining? Like, what is your purpose?" And
Mm-hmm.
for me, my background is in science, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I have also gotten that question. Well, you're a scientist, you're a chemist, so why would you like your place in fashion world is like? How is that even aligned? And my answer is fashion is for everybody. It doesn't discriminate between your profession. Fashion is for every person out there. Um, and me, for personally, when I wanted a competition. I believe in growth is always good. No matter at what age you are, you should always keep learning. And only way you can grow is when you challenge yourself. You come out of your comfort zone. You do something that makes you uncomfortable, and you can just see what is next for you in your life,
Yeah.
right? So that was me. I just wanted to challenge myself and grow myself. I wanted to be a better version of myself.
Yeah. And pageantry has no like age limits.
Yeah.
There are so many systems and organizations that, you could do pageants at any age or, even any activity aside from pageants too. I always believe one of my mottos that, I've created and I've stood by is that age is no barrier to what we can accomplish. And
Yes.
that couldn't stand true for literally anything. So
Agree.
or truer, I guess they couldn't stand truer for anything, around us. So definitely a very inspiring story, and anybody can get involved for sure.
Yes, anybody can get involved, and age definitely should not stop one from doing something that would make them grow and happy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you so much for sharing about that. Do you have any, advice or anything else that you want to add?
Well, I wanted to ask you, I'm gonna leverage this opportunity, and I wanted to ask you what would you like to share as a message to our youth in Indiana, being Miss Indiana volunteer team?
Yes, I would just say, like I said, age is no barrier. Always be open to trying new things because you never know where that can lead you. I think for me, whether it's pageants or even things in school that I was like hesitant to join at first, but then I put myself out there. I learned and grew as a person. I made connections with people I never thought I would ever meet in my life. And so many friendships have been created throughout those years. And I still keep in contact with some of those friends that I made in 2016. So it's just crazy to see how, things develop, whether it's pageants or anything else that you do. Just continue to work hard because with dedication and by working hard, you truly can accomplish anything.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
would be, yeah, of course. How's about your advice? What do you have for the youth or just anybody involved?
My mantra is definitely positivity, and I would really send out that message again and again as many times as I can. And to stay positive is always a hard thing to do. It was hard for me too, and I do have my bad days and good days,
Yeah.
but this has never failed me. So I just want everybody to understand that positivity is the way to go, and challenge yourself, come out of your comfort zone. Life is no longer short. One of my close family member told me this. Nowadays we are up against life is um, unpredictable.
Mhm.
You know, back in times we used to say life is short, but now it's life
Yeah.
is unpredictable. So do what you feel like, come out of your comfort zone, and don't shy away from what is what is waiting for you in future. Like, step out of your comfort zone and
Mhm.
shine bright.
Awesome. That's some positivity for you guys for the weekend. But thank you so much for sharing all of that and for joining me today. There was a lot of great discussions that we had, and I think hopefully everybody felt inspired by Miss Patel and all that she said. She's truly inspirational, and I'm so grateful that you were able to join on today.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vani. I'm honored to be here on your platform, and keep rocking. You're doing great, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, and I hope everybody has a great rest of their Friday. Bye.
Bye.